Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 186. Today what we're working on is a little bit of core integrity, or the hollow body position, right? I have Abby here. She's a fellow mastermind in the CrossFit world, rock tape world. Maybe she does CrossFit too. And she does yoga, as you can tell by hashtag scarf, hashtag Hunger Games, hashtag boring. Anyway, so listen, everybody does hollow rocks and everybody does like these little plank positions, but nobody really gets a lot of good feedback. And in the clinical setting, we can do a couple things, and this is what happens, right? So just don't worry about the shins for a second. In the clinical setting, what happens is, if I was to come around and I was to do hollowed positions with Abby here, is a lot of times I take my hand, or walk around this way real quick. I take my hand and put it in the small of her back, and my cues would be, press the small of your back down into my hand, and then we go ahead and we do all of our other stuff, right? So how do we do that in a setting where she's not with me? And this is where we kind of came up with this little thing, sit up, yeah, that we nicknamed Mousetrap, right? Hashtag Mousetrap. Hashtag Mousetrap. I'm really into hashtags today. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a band, we're going to connect it to a fixed object, doesn't matter where, and we're going to take this band and put it in the small of her back, okay? And now she has to crunch down on that. At any time, if that slingshot's back, Mousetrap fires off, then we know that we have to start over again, just like that, right? And it works really good for you because it gives you a great feedback mechanism. It's going to go right in the small of your back. The biggest arch, that's where it's going to go, right? So here's our progressions for today. We start out with Abby placing her hands on a fixed object. She pushes herself away, and the reason why she does that, it gives her some structural stability for her to have feedback on. That gives her a little bit more for her core and her diaphragm to come off of, right? Now what we want her to do is we want her to suck down her rib cage and tighten that core right there, pushing the small of her back into the ground, all right? Placing that mousetrap down. From right here, we're just gonna start with little holds, okay? If she does this successfully, what we'd like to do is about 10-second holds. She's gonna come down, she'll start doing taps, right? Whole time, she still has that pressure against the shins here, or a fixed object, and down on the bottom here, okay? If she does this successfully, then our next progression is going to a bicycle, all right? Once we do that bicycle action, if we could do all three of these progressions, what we're going to do is we're going to have our fixed object move away. And the first thing you're going to notice is it becomes immediately harder for her because she no longer has a proprioceptive input from up on top, nothing to give her stability, right? So she has to work even harder to press herself down. Here's our holds. We still have our touches. And then from there, we can go to our bicycle, all right? And at any time during that progression, let the mousetrap go off, she starts over again. Guys, so what our goal would be today is see if we can use the mousetrap, get ourselves up, do about 3 10-second holds. If we're okay with that, then we're gonna go to 5 touches per leg. And if we're okay with that, then we're gonna go right into 5 bicycles per leg. The whole time, if we hit the mousetrap at any time, we start back over. Abby?
Sounds great.
Thank you so much. Guys, until tomorrow, we are optimizing function to optimize performance.